and welcome to Quit Bunbury Speedway for another Krikke Boys Shootout preview show.
Well, it's that time of year again, James. The world's top sprint car drivers are getting ready to head to the southwest for one of the richest and most prestigious races on the WA sprint car calendar.
That's right, Jasmine. The 16th Krikke Boys Shootout kicks off at Quit Bunbury Speedway in just under a week. We can expect 2 days of outstanding sprint car action from some of the biggest names in the sport.
Now, to some, it's an event with special significance, but to most, it's simply an awesome weekend of racing that no true speedway fan would ever want to miss.
So we're going to bring you an exclusive inside look at this year's event, from the big names and how they're preparing to the little known volunteers whose passion and dedication make it all possible.
Now, this year we're looking at one of the strongest lineups of US drivers ever seen at a Krikke Boys Shootout. Now, that's because one of the major sprint car meets in America is running a few weeks later this year, so that frees up a lot of American drivers who usually wouldn't be able to make it over here at this time.
That's right, lots of Yanks. So let's take a look at our top 8 pick for the final. American Shane Stewart is back to defend his title, racing for Monty Motorsports again. He had quite a bit of success in the US last year, racking up his 4th Knoxville 360s Nationals victory. This season, he's in Australia for 4 months, competing in 30 races.
And it's worth noting that in 15 years, the shootout title has only gone to US drivers twice, last year and in 2010 when Jason Johnson won. But all up, the Americans have enjoyed 8 podium finishes, and 5 of those have been second places.
So they do like to keep the Aussies on their toes, and this year a dark horse returns.
That's right, US driver Randy Hannigan last competed in the shootout back in 1999, coming 3rd behind Robbie Farr and the Bunbury Bullet himself, Ron Krikke.
Hannigan was here for the very first Krikke Boys Shootout 16 years ago, when he got things off to a pretty controversial start. He got black flagged and he wasn't too happy about it, so he parked his car on the circuit and refused to move it. That held things up a bit.
Hannigan hasn't raced on the Bunbury track for a while, but he's been doing some great things in the US, so you never know, he might surprise us.
Now some sad news for the Bunbury-based Diamond Bay Motorsports team, who have been doing phenomenally well this season. Their principal driver, Ryan Farrell, was selected for a random drug test at the World Series Sprint Car Round at Bunbury Speedway last weekend, and unfortunately he did return a positive reading.
It's been a huge blow for the team. Just 2 weeks out from the Krikke Boys Shootout, Ryan Farrell has put out a press release admitting that he's been battling depression and drug use for a long time and is now focused on overcoming his issues.
South Australian Luke Dillon will replace Farrell for the shootout, driving the number 26 for the Diamond Bay Motorsports.
And we wish Ryan and the Diamond Bay team all the best.
James McFadden's racing for Milling Motorsports. James has been racing sprint cars since he was 16. He made a name for himself back in 2010. At just 21, the youngest driver to ever win an Australian sprint car title. He's currently defending the Australian Sprint Car Championships, and he's also added a World Series Sprint Car Championships to his name. James didn't have the best of luck in the shootout last year. He had to retire early with front wing damage, but he's certainly had a very impressive year of racing all around the country and in America. So without doubt, he's a top contender.
And the win, of course, is worth $20,000. A group of around 40 drivers will start in heats on Saturday evening. They'll be whittled down to 20 over the weekend for the 35-lap feature race on Sunday night.
So it's shaping up to be an exciting race indeed, Jasmine. I'm sure the Aussies are keen to see the title safely back in the hands of a local.
They are. Now stay with us after the break. The rookie who's come of age. Why Jason Kendrick has a lot to live up to next weekend.
And the making of the sprint car dynasty. How it all began for Ron and John Krikke.